Hey guys. Okay, so we had a great team call on Monday the 29th, but I forgot to press record. So I am going to go through and I'm going to redo the call for you guys. Um, so basically, I'm just really excited about this year. And it kind of stunk because I wanted to kick it off right, and we had a great kickoff call, and then we had our retreat, and we had a speaker, and I haven't been able to share with you in a while, which nothing wrong with that. I just had a lot of things to share with you guys. So forgive me. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen because I made slides. I know I don't usually do that, but hey, it's a new year. You never know what's going to happen. So here we go. Now, I did this presentation specifically in mind for this training because like I said, the name of it is Don't Be Fake, Cheap, or Easy. And I know you guys have heard that when it talks to nutrition. You are what you eat, so don't be fake, cheap, or easy, right? But I'm going to take it one step further with our businesses and how we share and who we are. But I wanted to start out and just go over something that is kind of our theme for the year. The word priceless. This was from our leadership retreat that we just had, and these were the front of our programs, or our itineraries that we shared with all of the people there. But the word priceless is something that has so many different meanings. And so I want you guys to hear why we chose this word for our team, why we chose this word for the year, and what it means to me, because I want you to hear that, but then also make sure that you have a meaning for yourself. So you yourself are priceless. You were created by God in His image, perfect. Even with our imperfections, we are perfect. We talk about how our progress is perfection because we literally are priceless. We are perfect in our imperfections. And what we do every day when we share our gifts and our talents is priceless. How we show up for our families is priceless. I loved the credit card commercial that talked about, $8 for a bucket of popcorn, $5 for a large Coke to share, time with your son at the movies, priceless. Because you can't put a price on moments. You can't put a price on things that truly you can't go to the store and buy. And you can't buy emotions. You can't buy confidence. You can't buy the things that we as coaches give, to our clients when we invest in them, when we invite them to an accountability group, when we celebrate their progress, when we help change a family, when we ourselves, in what we do in using our gifts and talents, changes our family, changes ourselves, and then helps somebody else. A God-sized movement. So you yourself are priceless, but what you do every day when you show up and share your story and you allow yourself to be seen and you're vulnerable and courageous, you are priceless as well. What you do and give to others is priceless. So we are doing something really cool. We've been joining with our large team and a couple other of the leaders of our big team, and we've been doing sneak peeks, which are so fun because you get to hear the different perspective from each coach. You get to hear stories from newer coaches. LaShawna just shared last week. It was awesome, and she was a part of the panel. If you want an opportunity to be a part of that and share your story, please do not hesitate. I would love to add you and have you highlighted and have you a part of the presentation. It's a good skill to have. It's a good skill to develop, and it's a safe place. So we're going to follow that up. So I'm really itchy. We're going to follow that up after every sneak peek. The following week, we're going to have a new coach call. So this is everybody who signed up, everybody who's a new coach to our large team, because it's super important that we understand and put ourselves in that position of that new coach who is scared, who is questioning, who knew she was here for a reason, but she might not be able to put it into words. So we just had this call tonight. And it was really cool to be able to share just, a couple of what I would do differently. Looking back 5.5 years, what I would have changed. I shared I wouldn't have changed a thing. I became a coach and did exactly what my coach said. She said, hit Success Club and get to Emerald. And I didn't know how, but I figured it out. I didn't wait for someone to give me permission. I didn't wait for someone to give me a roadmap. I just knew that I was a part of a community that was doing something bigger and better than what I had been doing before. I knew that I was in a place that was going to foster growth, that was going to encourage me, and that was going to give me the atmosphere in which to grow and thrive. So for me, I wouldn't change a thing, and I'm so glad that I set those expectations for myself, because after 6 months, Beachbody said, congratulations, you earned a trip to Disney. And I wouldn't have done that had I not jumped in immediately, not waited for someone to give me permission to start. Now, in this call, we had all of the new coaches share why they became a coach. Just a quick, really heartfelt thing, and it was awesome. Every single new coach is going to get to know one another. They're going to be in a message thread. They're going to be on the same playing field. And then we set it up this way. I don't know if you're in a sorority, but we talk about having a pledge class. And you guys joined that sorority at the same time. You do everything together. You learn together. You go to meetings together. You sit in the same section. You are going through the same things as freshies, sophomores, juniors, seniors. But later on in life, I was able to do something really cool with pilot training. And everybody in my husband's pilot class was given a graduation date or a class date. And so those varied based on when you were going to graduate. Now, we set it up as when you started. So 218 would be February 18. Now, this is the class that is starting and going to do the first 30 in February. They're going to graduate. They're going to do some really cool things in February, and they're going to graduate. And then we're going to have a new pledge class or training class, 318, 418. You know what? It's kind of a badge of honor. And I remember my husband's unit making patches for their class date, 0204. And it was really cool for them. And it was like 02 was 2002 and 04 was April. So if that helps you. So anyway, that is when his pledge class was. It ended up being 0210, but you have to remember the fiscal year is different in the military, blah, 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 blah. So 0204 is actually, it's like December, January. So anyway, I digress. We are setting it up so that all of those new coaches are able to ask questions in a safe environment. No question is dumb. No experience is dumb. You guys are starting at the same time, maybe setting the same goals. You're getting to know everybody who started at the same time you are. It's really cool to be able to look around and maybe pick a success partner because you're saying that person's running. Or have someone say, I hit Success Club 5, and you go, oh my gosh, that's awesome. I want to do that. You encourage one another, and maybe it's a little competitive, which isn't bad if it helps you grow. Okay, so let's get to the meat. Ready? Last year, I worked with a coach who pushed me in the way that I needed to be pushed. I was reminded of the action steps I needed to take. But I realized that there's some places and some holes in me that I've never filled, that I've never helped my team with either. Because the stuff I've been doing for the past few years isn't working. And maybe you feel the same way. I can't just post my sweaty selfies and expect to, reach a ton of people. I can't say, join my group, click here, and get a lot of engagement. Everything's changed. And so I've been working with a gentleman by the name of Cody Jefferson, and a lot of coaches work with him. It is a huge investment. It makes me sick to my stomach to think about it, but that's why I want to share everything, is because I want this investment to make a difference for our entire team, for everybody. I want you guys to do the same homework with me, have the same lessons, and be able to use this information to help you grow as well. I never did a really good job at branding or getting to my pain points or the reasons why I took certain directions in my life, the reasons why I have certain beliefs, why I do things a certain way. So that's really important for me to figure out because I want to know who I am. I don't want to be fake. I don't want to be cheap. I don't want to do the easy thing. So it's important to me that in my business, I'm not presenting that either. I don't want to be fake. I want to share my real life. I want to share why I'm a coach in a way that attracts people without being pushy and salesy. I don't want to present this as this is super easy and everybody should join. No, I want to be selective. I don't want to be cheap in the person whom I invite and I attract to be a part of this amazing team. Because you're worth so much. You are priceless. So I don't want to attract the low-hanging fruit who is just here because they think it's a quick buck. No, it's work. It's an investment. It's something that is fulfilling. It's something that's life-changing. And I want that to be at the forefront, that this is valuable. So I'm going to tell you what kind of exercises I've been going through and how it can help you start to craft your story. So we're going to talk about the art of developing your story. First of all, I just had a 3-hour phone call with a branding manager. I had to share everything. And I talked about things that I had forgotten about. I talked about things that I had suppressed that I didn't even consider. Like the fact that we were told we couldn't have kids. And when we did have kids, we were told that our daughter was going to be born with Down syndrome. And how do you reconcile that? And then a doctor coming to you and asking you what your decision is about keeping the baby. And you're just like, there's no decision. We're keeping our baby. But there's no need for these tests because we're just thankful that we were able to get pregnant because we were told we couldn't get pregnant. So I have some notes. I just want to make sure that I'm sticking to what I want to talk about. You need to think about the pain points that speak to the you before you started Beachbody. Those things that you were able to overcome now, but that were truly pain points for you. Defined your perception and your beliefs about certain things. And we'll get to that in a minute. You also aren't speaking to the right people because you're not being honest. You're not attracting the right people because you're saying the fluffy things. I want you guys to think about saying the things that really get to the heart of people. Being honest with your story, being honest about maybe some hurts, being honest about why you love what you do and why you're able to stay home without fluffing it. I want you guys to make some waves. Cody says be polarizing. Means being completely opposite of what you've been doing. If you've been, doing the same thing over and over and it's not working for you, do the opposite. And start really getting real with your story, with your beliefs, and giving people examples. You got to start to think that likes and comments, they don't matter. You're trying to change lives here. And so the amount of likes you have is not the goal. You want to know, is this useful or not useful? Is what I'm sharing truly useful to someone, or is this just not that important? And here's something. We talked about reaping what you sow at the leadership retreat. If you reap weakness, you're going to get weakness. If you reap, like I said, this is easy, then you're going to get people who think this is easy. And when they realize it's work, they're out. But your passive comments are going to attract passive people. I want you to be on fire. I want you to be real and honest and raw. I went live the other day and I shared something and it was really emotional. And not that comments and likes are important, but you guys, some of you messaged me and said, thank you for sharing that. That was really important for me to hear. And thank you for being real. Because that's what people want nowadays. There's so much fake out there that we want something real. And you need to say the things that are going to resonate with people. Resonate means they're going to hit them where it hurts. It's going to make sense to them. It's going to make an impact. When something resonates, it makes a sound. There's a reaction from it. They're like, oh my gosh, she's so right. That's exactly what I've been doing. I've been pushing people away because of this. And actually, I'm keeping myself from living. But you got to take it one step further and share stories that are impactful to you. Be prepared, because some people may get offended. Because when you're sharing things that are real to you, your beliefs and your experiences, people are going to think, oh my gosh, she's talking to me. This is all about me. Those are very self-centered people. Because truly, you are not focusing on what someone did 22 years ago to you. You're focusing on right now. And you're not trying to call them out. You're trying to help others. You're trying to be real and honest. about why you feel this certain way, about relationships, about family, about finances, about whatever. Something happened. But when you share something that's so real, people may be offended and think, well, she's calling me out, because you're calling them to accountability that they are not prepared for. They didn't ask for it. I didn't ask for your opinion. Well, that's okay. I didn't ask for yours either. So I'm glad you're on the same page here, because I'm sharing what's important to me. And if you're having a reaction because of it, that is not my problem. Because guess what? The world does not revolve around you. Number 7, this goes back to the polarizing comment. You got to say the things that people aren't saying. That, hey, guess what? If you eat crap, you're going to feel like crap. You can't blame anybody else for that. You got to stop blaming other people for your circumstances and start owning your crap. Some people might not want to hear that. But you know what? Those people who keep blaming everybody else for why they are the way they are, they're never going to change unless someone calls them out and gets them to see that they're never going to change unless they start owning their crap. Like I said before, is what I'm sharing useful or not useful? That's the question we should be asking ourselves from now on. I mean, is it evoking a response? Is it letting people know me? Sure, that's really important too. But is it useful information? I'm not talking about finding a recipe that's going to make their life so much easier. Recipes are great. But is what I'm sharing about my beliefs and about me truly useful to somebody else? Are they going to read that and go, oh, I'm not the only one. Thank you. I connect with her. Thank you for saying that, because somebody needed to. But like I said, before you know what you can share or what you're going to share, you have to know what you believe. And in order to know what you believe, you got to sit down and write it out. You got to think about those things. I think Cody calls them pillars. He just told me beliefs, He said your beliefs can be broken up into categories. And he gave me 4. Yours may be a little different. Depends on you. Something you have to think about. And maybe you can start with mine and develop some more. But you have to pinpoint your pain points. That's fun to say. You have to identify and pinpoint those beliefs that led you to action. I'll talk about it here. So this is what I do. Your beliefs about faith, family, finances, and fitness. I'm trying to think if there's another one. I'll have to think on it a little bit more. So I'm going to think about my faith, my beliefs. And you have to think about, where did they come from? Well, a lot of them were taught to me. They were learned. But, maybe in school you learned what colors are. What color is this? What I'm wearing. If you say black, great. But why do you think it's black? Because someone told you that is the color black? But do you think we all see in the same colors? Like, do you think the black I see is the same black you see? Or do you think it's different? Because you may have similar views about family and fitness and finances as somebody else, but they might be just a little bit different based on your upbringing and based on experiences you've had. Like, do you believe that in a family, the father, the male figure, is the breadwinner? Little mama stays at home. Why do you believe that? Do you believe that, no, dad should stay at home, mom should go to work, that both parents should work? Is it because of your experiences? Did you have this belief? Just think about it that way. Start to write down your beliefs and then write down the stories that go with them. And, Cody gave us an assignment to write down as many as you can. Because I think 20 is a good measure. And I'll tell you why at the end. And Stephanie shared this in our large team call. It was good. And it's a good assignment for us all to have as you're rewatching this, is write down your beliefs, like on one page. This page is going to be my beliefs page right at the top. And you're going to have faith on this page. And then you're going to have family on the next page, finances, fitness. In the left-hand column, you're going to write your beliefs, those pain points, those fears you have. And then in the right-hand column, you're going to write a story that goes along with that. It might be just like a little memory jogger, not all the words, but a story that goes along with that fear or that belief. Because why do you believe that? There has to be something that goes with it. Same with finances. Do you believe you live paycheck to paycheck? That you're going to have maxed out credit cards? Do you believe that you should be able to pay cash for college, or do you believe in student loans? Do you believe in financial freedom? Do you think that's actually a thing? Do you believe in paying off debt? Do you believe in traveling the world and having total freedom to just go wherever you want? Or do you believe in working the same job day in, day out, 40 hours, 60 hours a week, and having a stable life and dying in the same job you've had your entire life? Nothing's wrong. These are your beliefs. These are your pain points that I want you to identify. Like I said, I had a 3-hour call where I was going over everything and uncovering things that I had totally suppressed. It was good. It reminded me I need to talk about those things, because those things led me to the beliefs that I have. And there are stories that go with them that are going to resonate with other people. Your beliefs come from your experiences, and when you are sharing, you're looking for those people whose beliefs match yours. Maybe not exactly, like no cookie cutter clones here, but you have similarities. We talked about that being equally yoked. You want to work with people who want to help others, who are fitness minded or who love fitness. And when I say love fitness, I mean like, I love what it does for me. You don't have to love those booty bands from 80-Day Obsession. And you're looking for people who with same similarities in faith, in family, in finances. And like I said, not exactly the same. But how much more fun is it to run with someone who you're not dragging or pushing? You want your team to run with you. Encourage you in your beliefs and in your pillars. And you want to encourage them in theirs because they're similar to yours. You want to work with people like you with similar beliefs, experiences. So I don't know how long this has been going. I don't know how long this call has been, but this is your homework. To write down the faith, family, finances, fitness. And I want you to write down your pain points, your fears, your beliefs about those things. And then off to the side, I want you to write stories. If you're writing 20, and if you're posting just a couple times a day, and you're getting real, and maybe you're going live, you're going to have so much content. And guess what? It's all real. It's honest. It's raw. It's not fake, cheap, or easy. Nothing about this is easy, but it's worth it. I'm going to share my pain points with you, just to give you a couple of ideas, just a few of them. And I wrote out to the side how they relate. So some of mine are my eating disorder. I have a lot of stories to go along with that. Why I thought this was the best way to do it, how I did it every day, what it meant for those around me, how it affected them, how it affected the way I was viewed, how it led to opportunities, how it made my family so mad, how they dropped me off at college and didn't know if I would live, if I would take care of myself, how it led to, like how these mesh and overlap, birth scares. A doctor telling me there's no way you're having kids. You've completely wrecked your body. What those feelings felt like, to know I did that to myself, to know that my behaviors had led me to the place where maybe I couldn't be a mom. You might encounter people like that, who perhaps their obesity has taken them to a place where a doctor says, you need to lose weight before you can get pregnant, because it's just not healthy for you to put on more weight. You can relate with them similarly, not exactly the same, but you can relate. And then pain points, I guess, would be being the breadwinner and sharing roles and flip-flopping back and forth. And by breadwinner, I mean like doing everything when my husband's deployed. A lot of pain points there. And being responsible for everything. Those are the family roles too. Then talking about how having my life issued to me, having no choice about when we move, where we move, when we go, when he goes, how long we're going to be there, and what kind of job it is. It takes away so much freedom. And what did that feel like? And why did I want to change it? And how did I change it? See, so many stories come from just simple things, and they do overlap. And you can segue into them or make simple, shorter stories. Then you'll have even more. I lost my identity with that. I was just Taylor's mom, Jackson's mom. Oh, you're Captain Duke's wife. Oh, you're Major Duke's wife. Aren't you Duke's wife? Yes, my name's Lauren. Thank you. Nice to meet you. And then the whole thing about I was unable to contribute to the debt we'd gotten in because I was unhappy. And I would take the credit card and I'd go shopping. And I would go to Target. And $5 turned into $105. And how that made me feel guilty. And how driving back and forth and putting a lot of gas in our car made me feel guilty. And I wanted to help. But my job was not fulfilling. Not fulfilling, that's not what I meant. My job was not filling the void that we needed. It wasn't helping. It was actually costing us more. But it was my way of being a part of something. It was my way of being included. Something I want you to remember as I close is, as this fake, cheap, or easy thing, there is nobody else with your story. There is nobody else like you. Nobody else who's been through the same things you have in the same way that you have. So when you write down those beliefs, those are yours. Those are your pain points. Those are your fears. And when you write down those stories out to the side of them, those are yours. You can be confident in that content. You're not copying somebody else. It's not cheap. It sure isn't easy to be that vulnerable, but it's also courageous. I'm reading Daring Greatly, again by Brene Brown. And gosh, you can't get past this one point where she's, finishing the TED Talk, and she gets up and she says, how many of you, it would scare the crap out of you to be up here? Well, how many of you think the people up here are so courageous? Because that vulnerability and putting yourself in a position where you are seen is vulnerable, yes. But that's the birthplace of courage. Fear is the birthplace of courage. When you put those fears down and you put a story out beside them and you share that with the world, you're being vulnerable, but you're being courageous. Those are your stories and only your stories. So I want to end with this. Don't be fake. There is only one you. There's my typo that I fixed and didn't save. Don't be cheap. You are priceless. There is limitless value on you. Don't be easy. Say the hard things that really matter, that really resonate with people, that really help them. So your assignment, like I said, is to get a notebook. Maybe have someone interview you. Maybe just, stop and think about from birth. I know. For some of us, it's longer than others. From birth until now, what is your story? What are your pain points? What are your beliefs? What are your fears? And then out to the side of that, write the stories, the experiences that match up with those pain points, fears, beliefs. You're going to have so much content. And you could flip through and be like, today I'm going to talk about family. I might go live and talk about how blessed I am to be a part of the family that I am. Maybe you talk about your fit family, how it's an extension, how they support you when your husband's deployed, how they lift you up and they stand beside you, pray for you, and you know that they're there on the other end, even though you've never met. It doesn't matter. It's like you know them. And that's the beauty of social media. So please sit down and do this and think of all you're going to be gaining. Weeks and weeks and weeks of content. If you're sharing a couple times a day, the difference is you're sharing stuff that's real. So those things are going to make a mark. Okay? So I'm excited. We have our team cup tomorrow. It's the last day to join a cup. I'm going to post about this on our team page because I may need to put some teams together. And we are developing a tank shop for our team. I asked you guys to put down your favorite sayings, maybe some encouraging things you've heard, some fitness themed things. Please keep it clean. And put down your thoughts, because I'm working with a branding manager and someone who's working on a logo for us that is just pretty simple, nothing fancy, that will show continuity and brand cohesiveness as we are putting things together for our team, from recognition posts to slides for our team to the names of our challenge groups, making it fun, having it planned out, and having a marketing strategy. I'm so excited about this. And then as I learn more from Cody, you know I share everything. So I'll be sharing what I learned because I want you guys to get the benefit of this training. What we do as a team allows me to pay for this. So I'm sharing everything I'm learning, promise. Okay? You guys be awesome. Check your downlines. Invite like crazy, because this opportunity is crazy amazing. And so is this team. So bye, guys.